If you're ready to break free from the old you and step into a completely new reality before the new year, this is where you need to start. Forget resolutions that fade and quick fixes that never stick. Let's talk about real reinvention, where your mindset, your habits, and your purpose all align to create the life that you've always imagined when you make the choice to reprogram the limiting beliefs that are dictating your current reality. In today's video, we're going to look at the 10 most common limiting beliefs that you might be carrying, likely after decades of subconscious programming, many of which you might not even realize are holding you back. It doesn't matter when you watch this video in order for it to be useful, but if you're watching it just as it comes out, you will see that we are starting in November 2024 so that we can start 2025 in new you fashion. Okay, so what is a limiting belief? Well, it's a thought or an assumption that holds you back from reaching your full potential. It's that internal narrative, that little voice in your head that when it speaks, you've accepted it as truth. The problem though is that by accepting these beliefs as truths, you're actually restricting growth and potential opportunities. Now, limiting beliefs often stem from past experiences, fears, or even unintentional programming, usually from the adults around us growing up. Limiting beliefs create mental barriers, convincing us that we're not capable or deserving or ready for certain achievements. Have you ever said or heard any of the following statements? I'm not good enough for that. Or I don't deserve success. Or maybe I could never do that. Well, these are all limiting beliefs. We've all said them at some point in our lives, but once you identify, challenge, and reprogram these beliefs, you will begin to notice all sorts of new possibilities for both your personal and your professional growth. And here's the thing, if someone has succeeded in doing something before us, then of course there's no reason that we can't do it too, right? And once you train your brain to believe that, you will begin to reinvent a new you. Now that you know what a limiting belief is, let's identify 10 common limiting beliefs that you want to become aware of in order to break free from whatever it is that's holding you back. As we go through the list, if you find yourself relating to more than you want to admit, don't worry. I've got you covered with a free download that will not only remind you of the affirmations I'm going to give you to help counter those limiting beliefs, but also a specific action or activity that you can do today, and every day for that matter, to help break you of those limiting beliefs ASAP. Before we get into the limiting beliefs, fun fact, research shows that when done properly, affirmations help rewire your brain by creating new neural pathways. And when you repeat affirmations regularly, they begin to shift the way that you think and the way you feel. And then, over time, your brain starts to believe what you consistently have been telling it. This is why using positive affirmations is key to breaking through those limiting beliefs. Okay, so if you're asking, well, what are these limiting beliefs and what affirmations can I use to reprogram my thinking? Here we go. Limiting belief 1, I am not good enough. This belief might have you feeling like no matter what you do, it's never enough. And this in turn makes you doubt your abilities or worth. The affirmation that you're going to want to use with this one is, I am more than enough, just as I am, and I can do anything I want. Limiting belief 2, it's impossible for me to achieve that. This belief might have you feeling like your dreams are so far away that they feel way too impossible to achieve, and that it probably just ends up leaving you incredibly overwhelmed. The affirmation you're going to want to use for this is everything I desire is possible for me. Limiting belief number 3, I don't deserve it. This belief might have you feeling guilt or making you feel unworthy of success, whether it's success in love, success in finances, or success in personal growth. Now, the affirmation that you're going to want to use for this belief is, I am worthy of all of the good that comes to me. Limiting belief 4, manifestation doesn't work for me. This belief might have you feeling like even though you've tried manifesting, you're left with a feeling of frustration or like nothing is ever working. And this only leads to doubt and blocking your ability to attract what you want. So the affirmation that you'll want to use for this belief is, the universe is always working in my favor, even if I don't always see it right away. If you find any of these resonating with you so far, don't forget to download that free guide below. It's filled with the simple steps to help you remove resistance in order for you to unblock your manifestation power. And don't worry, you're not alone if these are feeling like familiar commentary. The key is to recognize them and start rewiring your brain with these powerful affirmations. And the exciting part is you can get started anytime you want. Limiting belief number 5, I have to work really hard in order to be successful. This belief might have you feeling like struggle is the only path to success. This makes the process feel exhausting and unattainable. The affirmation you're going to want to use for this one is, success flows to me with ease and joy. Limiting belief number 6, I'm afraid of failure. This belief might have you feeling the fear of failure, always worried about what other people think if you don't succeed. The affirmation you'll want to use for this belief is, every setback is just a detour to something I can learn from. Limiting belief number 7, money is hard to come by. Now, this belief might have you thinking that money is always scarce. And this makes it hard to attract financial abundance and likely leaves you stuck in a cycle of lack. The affirmation that you will want to use for this belief is, money flows easily and effortlessly to me. Right now, I want you to take a moment to think about how these beliefs so far are showing up in your life. And remember, of course, this is just the beginning. Recognizing them is the first step. When you want to dive deeper, don't forget to download your free guide linked below to get the exercises and affirmations that are going to help change these limiting beliefs. On to limiting belief number 8. I don't know where to start. This belief might have you feeling, overwhelmed. You might feel like your goals are too big and that you're unsure of where to even begin. The affirmation you'll want to use for this belief is, the first step reveals the next. Limiting belief number 9, I always fail at things, or I'm not good at anything. This belief might have you dwelling on past failures and using them as the evidence that you'll never succeed. So the affirmation that you will want to use for this belief is, I do not allow my past to define my future. Limiting belief 10, maybe it's just not meant for me. This belief might have you feeling like success is meant for others, but not you. Now, ultimately, this is going to leave you with a sense of defeat. But the affirmation that you'll want to use for this belief is, if it can happen for others, of course it can happen for me. If any of these beliefs have resonated with you, know that you have the power to change them. You have complete control over your own decisions to start rewiring your brain and reprogramming your thoughts to reinvent a new year, new you. Don't wait to get started with these simple actions that you could be taking right now. Right now. Once you download your free guide below, let me know what one belief, affirmation, and action step you find makes the biggest shift in your life and your perspective. If you find these useful, hit that like button and comment below if you'd like to see another video with 10 more common limiting beliefs, and of course, the actions that you can take to overcome those too. And until next time, and as always, enjoy the joy.